To hook the vehicle up on the driver's side behind your driver's cab door, if you use the square key, in here is your battery locker. You open it up, and here you've got your leisure battery which runs all your motorhome electrics from the back end, and you've got your hookup point. So to hook the vehicle up, you just slide the collar back, slide it on, and then put the cable through the groove. It means you can then lock this and you're hooked up. Coming further back, you've got your fresh water intake, so this is where you would put your hose pipe. So you can lock this. This is lockable with a small round key, so when it turns it's locked. When it's not turning, you get a hold of it, it's open. You can put your hose pipe in there until it overflows, or you can see inside how much fresh water you're carrying on board. If you were wild camping, you would have to take a full tank of water with you, but if you are going to a site, take a minimum of, or a maximum should I say, of 20 litres to stop off, use the toilet and have a cup of tea, as this will take more diesel to run the engine. This is your vent for your wheel heating. You don't need to do anything with that, but you're filled up here if you want to drain off your fresh water. So if you are winterising, you'd have to drain your fresh water off, but if you are had a full tank and you were ready to go home, you'd normally drive over a motorhome service bay and dump your fresh water. You've got your fridge vents here, and then coming further back you've got your wastewater. So this is the water you've used. So same again, you drive over a grid on the way out of the site and open up and allow the water to drain into the gully or grate below. If you were winterising, leave this tap open, the same as the fresh, and you'd have to open your boiler drain, which I'll show you from inside the vehicle. You've got a locker here, and then here this is underneath your bed. So you've got a gas tap there for your space heater, so your heating system. So if there was any problem with the space heater, you can isolate the gas like so, but they're mainly for when the vehicle gets serviced. Any problems with gas, turn it off at the top of the bottle. And then coming further back, you've got your LPG, so this is gas locker, so your liquid petroleum gas. This holds two 6 kilogram propane bottles, and then you would tie them in like so. It's basically a left hand thread and tighten as tight as you can, so hand tight, and then turn on the top of the bottle. If you just do one full turn on the top of the bottle, as it's easier. If you ever had to isolate the gas in a hurry, you can just turn it off with one turn. So don't turn it and turn it until you get it right on. At the back of the vehicle you've got your high level brake light and your reverse camera, and then you do have your bike rack. So if I just undo this, and that one, pull them out, I'll allow this to fall down. So you've got your rails here, so you put your wheels through here and put these through the spokes and tie the bike wheel down to the rail, and then you've got your bike 2 and bike 1 through the crossbars, and then when you're not using it, just clip it up like so. Come around to the passenger side, so this is your cassette toilet. So in there's where your toilet is, so you do your business up there, it ends up in here. So your cassette, as long as the slide was closed on the bottom of the toilet, which I'll show you from inside, you'll be able to lift the orange handle and pull the cassette out. You've got wheels there to decart around the site once it's full, and then they're empty. Take the cap off, go to your waste disposal point, which is normally to the side or behind your toilet block. Press this button here, it stops the glugging, allows a bit of air in and allows it to pour a consistency, and then press, tip out. Once you've tipped it out, there's normally a tap, put some water in, give it a shake, tip it out again, and then if you are using the liquid, a cap full of liquid into here, and then it's ready to use. Or if you're using the tablets, put a pint of water back into the cassette, push it back into the vehicle, and then drop a tablet, which are just like a dishwasher tablet, down the toilet. It'll end up in here, it'll break up into the liquid. This is your external gas outlet point, so if you wanted to power a Kadak or an external barbecue, you get a fitting, the bullfinch fitting that clips in there and goes to open, and then you'd need some orange gas hose and some Jubilee clips to clip the connector onto the hose and the hose onto the barbecue, and then you can run your barbecue off the bottles on board. You've got your awning there, which I'll show you in a second. And then you do have at your passenger door your diesel, so that opens with the main ignition key that you drive the van with. And then on the slam panel you've got your tyre pressure, so the 5 bar on the front, 5.5 bar on the back, 72.3 on the front and 79.5 on the rear. Underneath your passenger seat you do have a toolkit, so this lifts out and you've got a jack and a brace in there, a tow knife and a screwdriver, so if you never needed to change a wheel or be towed, you've got all your equipment there. And you do have your adjustments on both seats the same here, so it does the back and the front and lowers it to get the best ride height for yourself. And your engine batteries underneath this floor here, so if you ever needed to change it you'd have to open this and lift the battery out. But there is a jumping point from underneath the bonnet, and your bonnet releases on the side of the passenger dashboard. So to open now underneath the bonnet, you've got your weight plate here, so it's 3.3 ton gross vehicle weight. And then you do, in that obviously MRO's empty, 3.3 is full. Front and back axle weight and your SGE number is your build number, which is unique to this vehicle. You've got your radiator fluid, the power steering fluid, your screen wash, which you will need the most if you're out on the open road, your brake fluid, your engine oil top up, your dipstick for checking the oil, your positive for your jump needs or charger, giving or receiving a jump start, and your earth is on there. Once inside the vehicle, by the habitation door, this is your Elddis control panel. So you've got a master switch here, which is your main master on-off switch for bringing power on board. So you must put that on to either give 12 volt if you aren't hooked up, or to 30 volt if you are hooked up. Above you've got a battery selector. You always want the selector to be on aux and not vehicle, because you don't want to be running your habitation area off the engine battery. You always want to be running off the auxiliary, which is your leisure battery. Here you've got your, in this window here, so this is telling you your volts. So you have 13.5 volts at the moment. We are hooked up. Once the hookup is taken out, we'll give a true reading. But if you press this button here, which is water, it'll say that we've got a full tank of water on board. So this is showing you water at the bottom. You've then got your master switch for all your lights, and then they are all individually switched around the vehicle. You've got your pump, which you need on to service your tap, your toilet, your shower, your hand basin tap in your bathroom. That must be on, otherwise you'll just get whatever's left in the pipe and it will drain off quickly. And then you do have your awning, which is a light above the habitation door. Coming down to the bottom, you've got your step switch. So this will automatically come in when the ignition or engine's put on, and won't come out until the engine is switched off.
Yeah.
Don't put it on.
Just
to operate your heating system, so at the top you've got your space heater controls, which is your air blown wheel heating. So you've got off on the 0, 1 kilowatt of electric. So if you are on a smaller CL site, it would be 1 kilowatt. You've got 2 kilowatts of electric, and you've got 3 kilowatts of electric. So you would use the electric side if you were hooked up on a main site. So you can use 2 and 3 in this country. You'd have to use 1 kilowatt if you are abroad, or you are on a smaller CL site. And then if you go down, you've got gas here. So if you're wild camping and you weren't hooked up, you'd have to put it onto gas to heat your vehicle. And then this is just your temperature, so highest being 30. And below you've got your wheel water heater switches. So you've got off here, gas at the bottom, so if that's heating your water on gas. But if you've paid your site fees, don't heat your water on gas, heat it on electric. So off in the middle, 1 kilowatt at the top, so one wiggly line is 1 kilowatt and 2 kilowatts at the bottom. If you did want hot water quicker, you can put 2 kilowatts and gas together, and this will boost your hot water and give you hot water in about 15 minutes. Open your windows, open all 4 arms, push out, and then you can tighten with the black knob at the top, and then loosen off to bring the window in. Make sure these are shut when travelling, same with your skylights. Then you do have a flare screen and a blackout light on all windows and skylights. In your kitchen you've got 3 gas rings. So just use the igniter on the front of the oven. So 3 gas rings, 1 electric 230 gas ring, electric hot plate. So you can only use this when you're hooked up. If you've had anything on the top, allow it to cool before you put the glass lid down. And then you do have your flatbed oven. So you've got your grill there, so allow the thermocouple to get warm before you release it. Like so, so allow it to get warm, so hold it for about 3 or 4 seconds before releasing. That's got warm. Take these out when you travel or you hear them rattle. And then below you've got your oven. So same again, allow it to get a little bit warm before releasing there. And you can take your oven shelves out when you're travelling because they'll flash around a little, or you want to wrap them up. And then below you do have your isolation for your hot plate here, and you do have your gas taps here. These are mainly if you any problems with gas, like I've said, off at the bottle, but these are mainly for when the vehicle gets serviced, a technical test that the gas is working as it should. You've got storage in there, storage in the drawers, and then that is just nothing. And you've got these, someone's fitted, the previous keeper fitted some tea towel holders, so you can put your tea towels in there. And then you've got your microwave, which is just a standard household microwave, so it works on mains power, and you've got your isolation there for your microwave. Also in your kitchen you have your Omnistar fan. So to turn it on, press here, you can open the skylight to allow air in, and you've got 6 settings each way, so you can take air out or bring air in. And you've also got a blind. Be careful with that, it's on a spring, so be very careful and make sure it is shut before you do start. There you have hot water. Underneath your driver's side front lounge area you have your boiler. So this boiler holds 10 litres of water at any one time. In the winter you do not want the water to stay on board, so when you stop using the vehicle, or if you're only using the vehicle for a weekend but it's going to be frosty during the week, you must allow the water out. So anywhere from late October to spring, the van must be completely drained of water, and you don't want the 10 litres of water in here to freeze, otherwise it voids any warranties in place and it's very expensive to repair or replace. So this tap here, this is your winter drain tap. So once it's facing the front of the vehicle, it's holding water, it's primed for the season. Once you lift it up, you'll hear the water drain directly underneath the chassis. You come in with no power on and drain it, otherwise if the power was on, the pump was on, the pump will kick in. So drain it off, then leave all your taps, your mixer taps open in the middle position. Take your shower head off and allow the hose to lie in the shower tray, just to stop any water build up there. And then when you do come to reuse it, shut your boiler tap, fill your vehicle with water from the outside, come in, put the power and the pump on, go to the cold side first, and you'll automatically get cold water. Go to the hot side, then a little cough sputter, make all sorts of noises. What that's doing is it's pushing the water from the bottom of the boiler up, filling this 10 litres in here until it's through on one tap, then go to the others, and it should be so much easier. And then allow the water to heat up, put your heating on either gas or electric, allow it to heat up the temperature, and then just test everything's working as it should. Also, when we're under here, you've got your pump, your battery box, that's the back of your battery locker. But at the front, if you just lift this up here, you've got your RCD unit. So in here you've got all your trips, all your 12-volt fuses. So I would go and get some spare 12-volt fuses from Halfords or anywhere, and if you do have a problem you can fix it. And if your hair dryer or kettle, electric kettle, trips the van, check here first before you check your site. And then to make to close this, you've got a small catch here, which just, but to make your bed you lift these up anyway on both sides. Like I was saying, to put them down, just press this catch here, lift it up and press that in. But to make the bed, put them both up and then put your backrest cushions onto there, turn them all upside down, and then you've got your front bed at the front of the vehicle. In your bathroom, now to use your toilet, so you can swing your toilet round and lift the lid up. You've then got in here, you've got this is your flush, so you press the blue button, you'll get the flush. To allow the waste to deposit into the cassette, you've got a slide here, so pull it to the left and the water will drop into the cassette. This must be closed, like I said, to get the cassette out of the exterior of the vehicle. If it's open, the cassette won't come out. And then once it is full, or 3/4 to full, this will go red, the wheel on the cassette diagram indicating that the cassette is ready to come out, be tipped out, drained, and put new chemical in and put back into the vehicle. You've got your toiletries cupboard, toilet roll holder, and then your showers. So your shower's behind there. Like I said, take that off there. But that's your shower screen to stop your toilet getting wet, which has got a turnbuckle at the top and bottom, which must be shut when travelling, otherwise it'll clash around. And you do have so you can push this any way you want to stop the wind blowing. So if the wind's blowing one way, you can close it the other, and it does have a blackout blind, like so. And your hand basin is located just here, so if you put your hand towards the end and pull it out, you've got your floating sink that you can pull out above your toilet. Lift your bed up, lift up, it's on gas struts. Obviously you've got your locker hatch there for all your storage, and you can store under here. Alright, your skylight above your front lounge. If you press the button in and pull the bar back, or you put the bar into these grooves, should it be nice, like so, to get a breeze. But you do have a fire screen and blackout blind, but like I said, make sure they are closed before you start traveling. Now in your cab, so you've to the right of the driver, you've got your handbrake, you've got your electric window adjustments here for your electric windows. On passenger and driver, you've got your electric mirror adjustments, which is the top and the blind spot, and you've also got your cab blind. So if you pinch here, that'll slide down, and then you pinch there, and then you just have to adjust your mirror, and that will go on there and the other side. Like so. And then they are just magnetic, so that's them closed. You've got your rear view camera there, so you've got your lines, reds, your bumper, greens, the distance you've got until it picks up something. And here you've got your, so you've got on the wheel, you've got your track skipper, so you can skip through your radios or your CDs. SRC is just another word for changing the source from CD to FM to AM. You've got your volume and your mute. You've got your trip computer on this side there, which will go through here, so it'll tell you your range, your travel distance, your average consumption, your instant consumption, your average speed, and to reset that you just press and hold and it'll reset that for you. You've got your cruise control on the bottom and your indicators and your lights on the top. 6-speed manual gearbox. Lift the collar and up there for reverse. Here you've got, this locks your front cab doors on an evening. You've got your hazards, you've got your rear fogs, and you've got your heated mirrors. You've got your 12 volt here, one being the bigger output of 180 watts. You've got your temperature and your fan speed, and then your distribution and your circulation. It must be on at least one or more for the aircon to work. And then you do have your radio where you can press 1 to 6 to save the channels or change over to a CD by pressing media. To work your alarms, so your alarms, you've got an alarm indicator down here. So if you put your ignition on and then within 6 seconds of turning your ignition off, press and hold, you'll see it flash until it stops flashing. And what it has done is it's turned these ultrasonics off. So then you can leave your dog or arm it with yourselves in, and the perimeter of the van will be armed, so all your lockers and your doors, but the interior won't be.